variable in Go can be declared this way. So let me just close this out first. So let's declare the variable. So you can declare variable in Go using a var keyword, and then you have to follow this by the name of the variable. Suppose I'm giving the variable name as I, and then you have to give the type of that variable. So the type is int if I'm giving here. Okay, so this is the variable declared for integer type, and the value should be assigned to I. The declaration is for I. Now if I want to assign the value, I can just go ahead and give I equals to suppose 12. So once I have set the value for I, that is I equal to 12, then you can see that it is showing me the compilation error like I is declared but not used. So in Go language, whatever variable you declare, you have to use those variables. If you are not using those variables, Go will throw as a compilation error. Why it is useful? So suppose if you are creating a huge code, if you are working on a huge application, and sometimes there is a change in the functionality or a change in anything. So at that time you might be creating new variables, or you might be changing the functionality. At that time, the old variable which are declared would be useless. So at that time Go will tell you, okay, these variables are not used, so you have to remove your variables, you have to clean your code. So this will ensure the cleanliness of your code as well. So this is a very good feature from the Go compiler, that it will tell you what are the used variables and what are not used variables, and if the variables are not used, you have to remove those variables. So it is throwing me the error as of now. So if I run this application also, Go run, then you can see that it will show me the compilation error, I is declared but not used. So once we declare the variable, we have to use that in our code. Let me just print this variable over here. So this fmt is the package, okay, that we have imported over here. So that is a formatter package. With this formatter package, we are able to print this particular data over here. Okay, so let me just go ahead and run the application over here again, and you can see that we are getting 12 over here. So this is a simple variable declaration and assigning a value to that particular variable. Now if you want to see what is the type of a variable and what is the variable value, you can use using the printf function over here. I'm just giving a %v and %t to get the value and type. Okay, let me just give this information, and now I'll provide I and I for both the values over here. Now let's run it again, and you can see that you will get the value I as a 12 and the type of the I, that is integer. So you are getting this particular values over here. So now if you want to assign a variable at the declaration itself, so rather doing this way, you can do this way as well. Okay, so what we are doing is variable I int equals to 12. So you can see that we are getting the value. So now this line of code is still verbose over here, right? There is a lot of information that we are passing, that we have to create a variable I that is of type int, and we have to assign that value 12 to it. But Go is a strong and statically typed language. So Go understand when you are saving any value to a particular variable. So if you remove this int over here, so Go will understand that you are trying to save integer value to a variable I. So internally compiler will handle that for you. You don't have to mention that as well if you don't want. Okay, if you run this again, you will get the same value. Now there is one more syntax that you can use to create and assign a variable to it. If you consider this value is still verbose, right, that you are creating a variable I and assigning 12 to it, rather doing that, what you can do is you can directly create a variable, and using the assignment operator, that is :equals to, you can directly create the value. So it will create a variable for you over here. This way we created a variable. So let me just print this also. Let me run this again, and you can see that we are getting the value 12 and 12. So this way also you can assign the value to your variables. So now you can assign the variables also, like you created the variable I, right? So you can assign that value to G directly as well. Okay, over here, this way also you can assign the values to the variable. If you run this again, you will get the same result over here. Now if you go ahead and redeclare the same variable over here, suppose if you are doing I : equals to 32, you are giving over here, okay, then you can see that it will throw an exception like no new variables on left side of the : equal to is allowed. That means we have already created variable I over here, right? So it won't allow us to create the new I variable, because : equals to will create a new variable. If you remove this colon over here, it will assign the new value 32 to this I variable. So you have to take care of this in mind, that you cannot redeclare the same variable name within the same execution block. If you want to create, so suppose if you are creating in a global scope, right? If you're creating a variable outside this function over here, suppose I'm creating the variable I equals to 32. Let me remove this over here. Let me remove this also. Now what will happen is this variable I is outside the scope of the main method. So it's in the global scope, and this variable I is inside the scope of this particular method, main method. So we created the two variables, but both are in the different scope. So this is allowed. So you cannot redeclare a variable, but you can shadow it. So what we are doing is we shadowed the I variable which is in the global scope. So if I run this application, then I will get the value of this variable, not this one. So let me just run this again. You can see that I'm getting 12 over here. If I remove this over here, let me clear this out first. And if I return it again, you will see that we'll be getting 32. So here we shadowed the variable over here, rather redeclaring. So redeclaring is not allowed, but shadowing of the variable is allowed in Go language. So what about the visibilities of the variables? In the Go language, we do not have access modifiers to work with. So to give the scope of the variable, or to give where that variables can be used, we can use using the variable name itself. If I'm creating, or if I'm starting the variable name with the small letter, that means that this variable will be allowed within the package itself. It won't be exported to the other packages for use. So this will be within the package. And if I start with the capital letter I, then this will be exported as a variable to the other packages also. So this way there is a two types of mechanism that you can use to create variables, that is camel casing and Pascal casing. When you are using Pascal casing, it will be exported to the other packages, and when you are using camel casing, it will be used within the package itself. So you have to take care of this. When you are creating a variable that has to be used outside the scope of a package, then you have to declare a variable with the Pascal casing. You have to start with a capital letter. So this I will be used outside this particular package also. So this particular thing, Pascal casing and camel casing, will be used everywhere while creating the functions, while creating the constant variables, while creating the structs and everything. Okay, make sure that you remember this in mind for your access modifiers, how to give the visibility of all your particular resources. Let me just change to small letter I now. Now what we can do is we can do the type conversion also. As Go is a strong and statically typed language, most of the time we'll be creating the resources or the variables, and we'll be assigning the type to it at the initialization state itself, and rarely we'll be changing the type to any of the other type. So if you want to change the type, then Go will not do implicitly. We have to tell the Go language that I want to convert this to this particular type. So you should do it, compiler should do it. Okay, so if I do this way, like I created the variable I equals to 12 over here, and then I create the variable j float 32, and I assign I variable to it. Let me just copy this also over here, j variable. Then you can see that we are getting the error message that cannot use I variable of type int as float 32 value in variable declaration. Okay, so that means this j is float 32, so I cannot directly assign integer variable or integer value to a float 32. If you want to do that, you have to explicitly tell Golang compiler to do that. If you want to change anything, you have to use float 32 type over here, and then you have to typecast it using the brackets over here. So this method float 32 of I, this will convert the value I to float 32, and then it will assign to j variable. If you see over here, it's the same thing how the type declaration it is, but it will come with extra brackets, and there you have to pass your variable, so it will convert that variable to that particular type and it will assign the value. Now if we run this application again, you can see that the first one, this is our I variable that is of type integer, and the second variable is of type float 32. So this way you can do the type conversion as well. Suppose if you are not assigning any of the values to any of the particular variables that you declare at the time of initialization, then all those variables will be declared or will be initialized with their default values, with their zeroed values. So suppose I'm not initializing this float 32 over here, and then if I run this application, you can see that I'm getting the 0 over here. So it initialized with the default values. So all those variables, all our data types will be having their initial values, their default values. So with that default values, all our variables will get initialized. One thing to note, like earlier we saw that we created the variable using the colon equal to operator, right? And we assign the values. Okay, so suppose if I assign the value 3.4 over here, and here also I assign the value 3.4 over here. Now let's see what will happen when we run this. Okay, here you can see that when I assign these 3.4 value to this j variable, and at the time we declare that this j is of type float 32, but when we declared using this syntax colon equals to the same value, it declared using the float 64. So whenever you are creating the variables using the colon equal to operator, you won't be having that much control over the language. Go language will by default create the variable type as the maximum available of that type. So for float, it is the float 64. so it created with the float 64. We have a string data type as well. So if you want to create any of the strings over here, I'll create variable foo as string and we'll pass the value as I. Let me just create this also over here. We'll give this as a foo. Okay, and let's run this. We got there like we cannot use directly I variable. So what we have to do is we have to typecast it. So we will typecast this variable as a string and then we should be able to use this. So you can see that whenever we try to convert any of the integer values to of type string, then what we are getting is we are getting the ASCII code and whatever value or whatever string is available to that particular ASCII code that we got. Okay, so for 12 this is the particular character, so we got that particular character over here. But if you want to get that particular string, okay, so what you have to do is you have to use the strcon package over here. So what you can do is, let me clear this out first. So if you're directly using string, you will get the ASCII value of this 12 and whatever character is available at that particular 12 value, that character will be assigned to this foo. But if you want 12 only over here, then you have to use the strcon package over here. So let me just add the strcon pack over here, strcon pack, and once I add it over here, it will be added into our imports as well. Okay, after this there is a method I to a, okay, means integer to a. Okay, this is the method and within this method you have to pass the variable. So I'm passing the I over here. So once I do this, I should get the 12 value over here. Okay, you can see that I'm getting the 12 over here. So you are ever working with the variables that it's converting from a numeric type, that is means most of the time it will be integers or anything, because in the programming language it is a very common scenario, like you will be using integers and string. So at that time, if you are directly converting using the string to I, you will be not getting the correct output because internally it is saving the stream of bytes in a string. Okay, so you have to use this strcon package when you are using the conversion from any of the data type to string. This will get you the proper output. Now there are boolean types as well available. Okay, so suppose if I say variable bar bool equals to true, okay, this is the type of a boolean and we can use this as well over here. The default value would be the false over here for our bool type. Okay, so you can see that we are getting the bool as well. So these are all the different ways that you can create the variables and you can do all the operations on a variable in Go language. So what we saw is we can create the variables, how to shorten the variables, how to shorten the code structure, okay, the code syntax for creating the variables, how to shadow a variable, how shadowing works in the Go language. You cannot redeclare the variables. If you want to change the data type of any of the particular variables, you have to do it explicitly. Go language won't be doing anything implicitly. Okay, so these are the things that you have to take care while working with the variables. We also saw that the naming convention, if you are starting the variables with the camel case starting with the small letter, then it will be available within the package itself. But if you are starting with the Pascal casing with the capital letter, it will be available across the packages also. So if you want to do a global variable, then you can start with the Pascal casing. So these are all the things that you have to take care while creating the variables in Golang.